It's your boy Butterfly here, and today I'm super excited. I got bookshelves. I got bookshelves and I'm excited about it because currently my bookshelves are double stacked upstairs and I'm going to be putting them downstairs, so I'm hoping and praying that that is a good decision and not a bad decision, but I don't know. But I have cleared some space to build them downstairs, but I don't really have a lot of light down here, so we'll see how long this works. But I'm excited. I do have to carry it piece by piece over here because I cannot carry the whole box, but I'm excited. I think I got 2 bookshelves, but I really don't remember. But I'm excited to be setting this up. But it is 1:45 p.m. and I have to go grocery shopping today, so I may end up building the shelves and then shelving them tomorrow with you guys as well. So I'm super excited to be able to organize these. I haven't had new bookshelves since I moved in. Now I'm gonna have bookshelves that I can actually put in a row, and I'm excited about it. Let's just hope they fit in the space I've cleared out down here because I'm excited to have a reading space. I'm gonna try and make a little reading nook. Now I have done a nook upstairs in the closet as a little safe space. I did a video on that, which is great until I can't use it anymore because it's got a bunch of toads in there. You know, sometimes you gotta adapt, move on, change things. Yeah, so now I need to bring the stuff over there for you guys to see. So let's start building. I think I'm gonna do a montage of this and slice it so you don't have to witness the pain of me building something. I have the instructions, and I was watching I Cannot Reach You, but it is in Japanese, so I will have to pick something else. So I guess I'm going to be watching YouTube or listening to YouTube while I build this. I'm just hoping that this is easy. I don't know. Seems easy enough. Let's see if that's true. I got one shelf done. Now I'm just gonna build the second one. And the problem is I rent. So how do I get this to be cat friendly? I did not think this through, but I like it. I just gotta put this piece on and then put these 2 together and the last backing piece, and I'll be done. there's no light in the room, but Delilah, please don't do that. Please don't do that. So here is book hoard currently 1. It is double stacked. We also have CDs on here. And my book of the month's on top. Then I have more books on the table but in the same room. Then this room is just full of book piles. I do have my Star Trek collection, but I'm going to keep that separate from the rest of my books. And then I have a tote in the other room that is literally just books I've read. So currently I am putting all of these books in a tote so I can carry them downstairs. And I gotta figure out how I'm gonna divide the books. Not to mention, I still have all of the books that are over there, as well as all of the books on my bookshelf. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna organize these. So let's get all of these downstairs. So the game plan is to bring things down one tote at a time because I only have one tote and I think it's gonna be easier. So what I'm gonna do is pick one, like pick a shelf that's gonna be designated for XYZ, and then I'm gonna go from there. So I'm gonna have my book of the month up top. Science fiction is probably gonna be here, fantasy here, or I might flip it. And we'll see how many shelves of each I use. I do have the other one on this side. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. I'm going to be sorting everything. The problem with this setup is this is all middle grade and below. So those are going to be moved somewhere else. I just don't know where. Okay. Some of these, I guess fantasy and sci-fi can go together, so you know how that works. And then I have thrillers, even though I'm not too sure if this is a thriller. And then miscellaneous. I don't even know where these would go. So I don't know how easy this plan is going to be. So we got to figure that out. But I don't know. So now I got to go get more books and think about it. Then I will come back with maybe more stuff on the bookshelves, or maybe it rearranged. But this is literally one tote. And I'm pretty sure I got way more. Way more. Almost all of these are science fiction. So I don't know what my game plan here is, like, at all. I got a lot of, okay. I have a lot of pocket-sized books. Apparently this one's broken. I need to take that. But most of my science fiction are this size because I believe that's the perfect size of a book. But, so I kind of have to stack these. And I'm not going to stack them in a particular order at the moment. But the point is, stacking is probably going to be the easiest for my science fiction, and you can't even see it. I also have a lot of huge hardbacks that are sci-fi and fantasy, so I need to put those somewhere. I believe Joseph Canon is like, I don't even know what this genre would be. It is fiction. The last book I read was Deflector, which was about a double spy. So don't know what genre this would be actually. So let's do the bigger books up here. This is what I would call books that are daunting. Quite a few of them. I have 2 Star Wars books, but I'm mostly a Star Trek guy, if you did not know. But they're gonna go up here on daunting just because they're hardback. These are gonna go up here because they're thick. I don't know where these are gonna go. Oh. Just gonna go there for right now. We're gonna move this up there. This is fantasy. This is science fiction, I believe. Paperback though. So maybe I should put all the hardbacks together. Good or bad, this is what my other bookshelf looked like, and I didn't really like it, which is why I wanted to move them here. This is also science fiction. I believe you would consider it science fiction. So this book is vegans put chips in animals to make them lucid, so you can't kill them. It'd be inhumane to kill them, and then it becomes illegal. So like, I consider that science fiction, but I don't have any more room on my paperback science fiction shelf. Well, no. I do have one more series that's pretty big in the science fiction genre than this collection. Say hi, Delilah. Hey, baby. Hey. Hey, baby. So I think this shelf is going to be fantasy. And then my other side will be thrillers, because I do enjoy reading thrillers. Mwah. So currently we have middle grade and young adult. We got thrillers. Then over here, we have Book of the Month, which is also going to go up there, which I've canceled, so they won't be anymore. Then you have hardback, paperback, fantasy with a few science fiction, and then miscellaneous. And I think I'm going to need 2 more shelves, because I really don't think this is going to fit all of my books. But we'll figure it out. So I couldn't fit all of the Book of the Month books on here, but this is mostly everything. The likelihood of me reading these last 2 are kind of low, but they have the gold, which is they were the book of the year those 2 years. I had Book of the Month for 3 years, and I canceled it this last year, so I wasn't allowed to get the book of the year for this year, but I digress on that point. And then over here, I moved the miscellaneous over here and added these. And then I don't really know what my game plan is, because this is my corner. There's my chair, very blurry. So there's my chair, there's shelf 1, there's shelf 2. Like, I theoretically could fit 2 more shelves behind the chair, but, you know, my table is here, so I don't know what the game plan is here. Also, I would have to wait a couple months to be able to get money for that. But this is what it looks like so far. And is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't know. So this is 2 totes down. I have no clue what my game plan is. The middle grade's probably gonna move. Up top is miscellaneous, but then literally dead center is all my 2000s books. I have no clue. This is mystery and thriller, and then that's gonna be more mystery and thriller. Then you have fantasy and sci-fi, and book of the month. I have no clue what my game plan is, but I do know that I have at least 1 more tote left, so I think this is going by pretty quickly. Say hi to Isla. Okay. So this is my setup. I do not have my graphic novel or my miscellaneous and history stuff because they would have to go on the bottom shelf, and at the moment I think I'm going to leave those empty for my cats, but I don't really know. But I have done it. It looks a little crowded because it is always crowded. Every time I have bookshelves, they're always crowded, but they're not double stacked anymore, so we should be grateful. I could probably move it around more and make some of these less like packed, because, you know, the middle ones are the ones that are like full, and then the top and bottom are kind of like, you know, whatever. But I do want to show you guys what is on my bookshelves because I am super excited about it. So let's start with this shelf. Okay, so overall this is my book of the month shelf. I do have a few book of the months over there and a few upstairs that are on my TBR for Summerween, but basically I have them organized by thriller, science fiction, fantasy, retellings, and then book of the years. Then this is science fiction, and this is science fiction with maybe 1 or 2 fantasy in it because I'm not too sure what's fantasy and what's not fantasy. So let's get a closer look. So I know you can see my camera and I apologize, but up top we have the book of the months. Like I said, Like a Sister, Dark Corners are thrillers. Camp Zero is kind of a dystopian, but it is in the thriller realm. We got A Flicker of Dark, Daisy Darker, Everything We Didn't Say. Then we have The End of October, which I keep saying I'm gonna read and then I never read. It's literally the first book of the month book I ever got. Then you have Upgrade. And then over here are the fantasy books in more detail and the retellings. Greek retelling, and I can't remember exactly which retelling this is, but it's Thistlefoot. Then we have the 2 book of the months, which I got because I was gonna read, and then the more reviews came in, the less likely I am to read that. Here are books that, first off, this whole section right here, daunting books, okay? You cannot tell me that these are not thick, okay? I really want to read, to Sleep in a Sea of Stars. But every time I go to read it, I just think about how many pages are in this book. I got Philip K. Dick over here, who is one of my favorite science fiction authors, and by that I mean I've read one singular book and a few short stories, but he got me into science fiction, so I always say that. These are from my dad. I'm not too sure if you would consider this one science fiction, but it came from my dad. Put it with the rest of the books he gifted me. This is about British intelligence collapsing, so I wouldn't call that science fiction, but whatever. We got Star Wars books, even though I'm mainly a Star Trek lover. We have some book picks that are from the dollar store, which, by the way, do not sleep on that. These are some pretty good books from what I've heard. And then these are just the normal books. This one, I swear I keep saying I'm gonna read, and then I start it. Like, I literally got halfway through with this book. Why did I stop reading it? I don't know. It's Killing Is My Business. It's about a robot detective. I don't know if y'all want a more in-depth bookshelf, but I don't want to bore you guys with the amount of books that I have. So these are my pocket books, which is my favorite type of science fiction, are these small ones, by the way. We got the Warlord and Gods of Mars. I believe there's a third book in this series. And then the Unicorn. Yeah, here the Unicorn is also a series, but I only have the third one. This one right here, Southern Fried Rats and Other Gruesome Tales, is more like horror short stories, but it's over here because it is a pocketbook. Then up top, which you can't even see, is my Warhammer book, and then The Day After Tomorrow, which is the book where the lid came off, or the book that the cover came off. We're just gonna ignore it for now. Here are the series. So we have the Starship Troop series, which I am dying to read. I hear it is a great beginner series to read in science fiction, and I got it because I was a theater major and I like science fiction. Then we have the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I have read the first one, but I have not read the rest. Snow Crash, which is recommended to me. Then we got more Philip K. Dicks. These are also daunting books that my dad gifted me. Like, what is with my dad's obsessions with thick fantasy books? Then here are some dollar store books, minus this one, are just science fiction that look interesting. And then The Martian, because I never read it. But I did like his new book, Project Hail Mary, which is not new anymore. It's been like, what, 3 years? So these are all science fiction and a few fantasy mixed in. I wasn't entirely sure what some of these would be classified as. So some of these are books that I got from my dad, aka these. Hinch is one that I've really wanted to read, about the assistant who then ends up becoming a supervillain because of how the heroes are. We got Last Watch, which I really want to read. Terror, which is also a TV show. We have Graceling, which I've been dying to read and then I never do. Cold Bath Street, I started, loved it. As you can see, I literally have bookmarks where I read, halfway bookmarks. I've tried to read that book so many times and just never completed it. Then we got some fantasy over here. We got Supernatural. Okay. I keep saying I'm going to do like a Supernatural vlog and then I never do. I might as well just read it in my own free time. Then we have more science fiction of the smaller size as well as pocket size. The Bargain, started reading that 3 years ago and then put it down. Why do I do that? I do not know. We have Ninth House, which I did tab up until I stopped reading it. Then we have Little Brother, which I have no clue what genre that would be. So like, it's about Big Brother and like surveillance, stuff like that, like cameras everywhere. Then you have Lilith, Spawn of Lilith. Okay, I'm intrigued by this as somebody who has a certificate in film production and a minor in film studies. They put chips, hello Gigi, they put chips in animals' brains. This one, they put chips in the animals' brains to make them sentient, just on level with humans, so they make it illegal. And like, I think that's the most like insane activist thing, and I kind of like it. And I started reading this and then I ended up putting it down because I was on vacation. Hi Gigi, can I show them the books down here? I know. This is miscellaneous with like fantasy, science fiction, maybe, possibly. We have one graphic novel over here. Well, actually we have two because Warm Bloods is over there. But I have more graphic novels I just didn't bring down here for. Most of these I got from the dollar store, actually. Okay, but can we talk about how I've had Hush Hush since it came out and have yet to read it? Like, that is my original copy, and I still have not freaking read that book. Like, how long is it gonna take for me to read Hush Hush? But speaking of that, I have a different book that has been on my shelves way longer than Hush Hush. And it's actually on this shelf right here. Let me move the light to it. Okay, it's actually this shelf, this book right here, Kiss Me Tomorrow, I've had since like elementary school, middle school, and it has been on my shelf for that long, okay? And that's insane. I think I went into middle school 2012, 2010, like around that time, so it's been a while. But let's do the top level of, this is the rest of my book of the month that aren't pulled off for TBRs that I already have listed. I've started You Reach with Sam and then DNF'd it because it was kind of sad. Kate is Waiting is up here because I really want to read that soon. Then here and here is 2000s movie adaptations. So stuff that I didn't read that I should have read when I was 2010, 2015 while I was in middle school, but I didn't. Then we got more miscellaneous. Now, I did read and watch the movie Speak, but I want to reread a bunch of stuff from there, so I put it on this shelf. And I have the graphic novel version as well. This shelf is all of my middle grade. So the center here is all of my series, whether there be the second book in here or not. I probably will move these bottom ones because I did a reading like vlog and I did not enjoy them like at all. So Be It, one of my favorite middle grade books, and Esmeralda I've also read. I plan on doing a video with those. So these are just a few of the books from middle grade. I wasn't really sure where Never Said would be, but I put it here because it's like young adult, I guess, and I didn't really have another place for it. So the next two are thrillers. So this shelf is thrillers that aren't in a series, and then we have Firestarter, which is horror, I guess. But these are all just mysteries, thrillers that I bought, excited to read, and then never read. I do have a few cozy murder mysteries like Dying to Be Thin and Star Strangled Man Murder, Death at the Buckingham Palace. But most of these, I don't really know where they would fall. Hell World, I think is probably more science fiction because I do know the author. So I don't really know where that would go, so I put it over here for the time being. Below that shelf is everything that has series. This side is all my Stuart Woods and Irish Johansson books. Then we have Lisa Jackson, which I swore I had more of, but I guess I don't. Then we have two that are actually not even thrillers. They're westerns by William Jostin. And then we have Sandra Brown, which I believe everything on this shelf was gifted to me, and I'm grateful for that. I just never got around to reading them, but I do plan on getting into them because I've heard great things about all of these authors. Then the bottom shelf is miscellaneous in every genre. I have no clue. So we have Before I Had the Words, which is this book over here without a dust jacket that you can't even see, which is about the trans experience. So I have a few educational, I guess, books you would say. Then you have Permanent Record, which I don't even remember what that book is about. But then you have Undone Lovers, which is a romance of the adult nature. I put The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo down here and One Last Stop when they were originally up top because I never got around to reading them. So what makes me think I'm going to do it now? Then we have The Shack, which I believe I did read or at least start when the movie came out. And then the rest here, minus the last two, which were gifts from my husband, are all, I believe, so I believe they're like military detectives because it's Quantico, and then you have Angel Walking, which I assume is religious because it came from my mom, so I don't really know like what the books are even about. I just put them on here because I have them and I want to read everything on my shelf, and I know that I didn't really go into depth about every single bookshelf, and I can go in depth and show you every single book and tell you exactly what each book says, but I didn't think I wanted to bore you guys with that. Also, the lighting in here is not the best, and I'm working on it. Say hi to Wawa. So I have this little corner. There's still some things to add. I kind of want to add a bookshelf behind here, but probably not going to happen. But I am really happy with the outcome of this. I'm glad to be able to see all my books not pushed up on top of each other front and back, or just miscellaneously thrown in. And I'm sure I'm gonna have to redo this every now and then, but I really want to try and read every book that I own before buying new books. Now, I know that I'll probably buy a new book here and there, but the plan is to try and read everything that's listed here. And I appreciate you guys coming with me while I put this together, while I figure out where the books go, and to see what the final product is. I can't wait to sit in this corner and read and be all cozy. With the weather lately, it's been all rainy, so I feel like it is the perfect time to snuggle up in an oversized hoodie with a book. And I know that this light isn't going to give me much light, so I don't really know what the game plan here will be, because I definitely had to bring lamps from the other room in here. But I am super grateful to be able to have this set up, and I can't wait to see what happens from here. So thank you for watching. Let me know, where do you put your books? Do you have a bookshelf? Are you a book stack kind of person? Like, I kind of like book stacks, but I also hate them because they're kind of just in the way when you're walking places. But thank you for watching. I had a lot of fun with you guys today. So I will see you all next time. Peace out, rock on, love your world, and get to grow your wings, fly. Just gotta make sure everyone knows your name. Love from my screen to yours. Bye, my little butterflies, Cameron. Out.